After that, he decided to leave the subway using a portal. His theory had been proven. However, even with confirmation, he did not feel relieved. The real danger still awaited him. The investigation team from Jiangnan was currently patrolling. Bien Junwoo, who appeared deep in thought, was suddenly asked by his deputy captain whether it was time to return, considering the zombie threat had seemingly been handled and the city appeared safe. But Bien Junwoo hesitated. He reflected on the true purpose of their mission. Even though they had possibly discovered clues about the origin of the zombies, their main objective was to eliminate the threat. In that case, there should be no reason to stay any longer. Bien Junwoo then decided to give the order for the team to return to headquarters and report. If any crucial information surfaced, Zhang Yi would contact them. The soldiers felt relieved and began celebrating the news that they would soon be heading home. Ba Yili, though also relieved, was slightly disappointed that he had failed to recruit Zhang Yi and Yuan Kongye. Xiao Yu, surprised, hadn't expected that Ba Yili was interested in recruiting both of them. Ba Yili explained that the two had caught his attention. Zhang Yi, with his extraordinary teleportation ability, and Kongye, who held great strategic value. Xiao Yu replied that Zhang Yi was indeed extremely valuable due to his ability, while Kongye had significant potential when it came to tactics and planning. Junwoo said the matter would be discussed after they returned to their own city. He admitted feeling a little disappointed that Zhang Yi chose to stay, but he would not force him. During the trip back, Bien Junwoo received a phone call. Ba Yili, thinking it was from headquarters, asked about it. But Junwoo responded that the call was from Zhang Yi. Woody, who wasn't very fond of Zhang Yi, had already expected the call would bring new trouble. When Bien Junwoo answered, he asked about the reason for the call. Zhang Yi informed him that he had discovered hundreds of thousands of zombies hidden in another part of the city. Hearing this, Bien Junwoo immediately ordered the vehicle to stop. The car came to a halt just as they were about to cross Tianhai's border. Junwoo's sudden order shocked and worried everyone in the vehicle. Still doubting the information, he quickly demanded more details, how Zhang Yi had discovered it and whether the information could be trusted. Zhang Yi explained that he had not been convinced the zombie crisis was truly over, so he decided to investigate further on his own. The discovery was the result of his personal investigation. Zhang Yi had anticipated that Bien Junwoo might be skeptical, but he believed that after his explanation, Junwoo would have no choice but to act. Growing curious, Bien Junwoo asked Zhang Yi where he was. Zhang Yi told him he was currently at home. Without hesitation, Junwoo decided to head directly to Zhang Yi's house and ended the call. After the call ended, Zhang Yi used his portal to quickly return home. Meanwhile, Junwoo instructed Bai Li to head for Zhang Yi's residence, and they immediately turned around. Wu Di, curious, asked what made them turn back. Junwoo replied that their mission was not yet complete because the zombie threat had not truly been resolved. However, during the journey, Junwoo's condition worsened. His coughing became more severe, alarming his subordinates. He regularly took medication to suppress the symptoms, but it wasn't helping. He knew that at any moment, his heart could stop. This realization added to the team's growing fear of losing their leader. Junwoo asked them not to show their concern and to stay focused on their duty. After some time, they finally arrived at Zhang Yi's shelter, still unsure whether to trust the information he had provided. Zhang Yi then turned on the television and displayed footage from the rat-shaped reconnaissance robot he had deployed. On screen, the tunnel he had investigated appeared, filled with thousands of dormant zombies. The camera kept moving, revealing more and more zombies, their numbers seemingly endless. Everyone on Junwoo's team was shocked and speechless by what they saw. Once the tension in the room began to settle, Zhang Yi confessed that his own reaction upon first witnessing the situation was no different from theirs. He realized that if it hadn't been for the presence of their team, the city would have already fallen during the first wave of the attack. Now, Zhang Yi needed their help once again. Bien Junwoo asked who else knew about the information, and Zhang Yi explained that only he and his advisor were aware of it. Junwoo then asked whether Zhang Yi suspected human involvement behind the zombie outbreak. Zhang Yi did not give a direct answer. Instead, he stated that the truth would need to be uncovered through cooperation. If all efforts failed, his only option would be to leave the city. With a hint of sarcasm, he asked if their city had delicious food. Junwoo quickly understood the meaning behind Zhang Yi's words and asked if there was any other evidence he could show. However, Zhang Yi chose not to reveal more for now, agreeing only to cooperate fully when the time came. Junwoo then stated that he would design a plan and asked Zhang Yi to contribute when needed. After that, Junwoo's team quickly got into their vehicle to resume the mission. Watching them leave, Zhang Yi felt a slight pang of regret for having to lie about the actual number of zombies. He knew that if he had revealed the full truth, they might have panicked and refused to cooperate. Inside the vehicle, Junwoo pondered who might be behind the control of the zombies. Deputy Captain Bailey asked what their next step should be. Perhaps they needed to investigate the zombie location to verify the claim. However, Junwoo quickly concluded that the zombies were being controlled by someone, and that was what they needed to uncover. Now, every faction in Tianhai was a suspect. Wu Di, with a tone of suspicion, pointed out that the most suspicious person was Zhang Yi himself. But Bailey firmly denied it, stating that Zhang Yi was the one who made them stay and shared all the important information in the first place. Junwoo's team seemed confused, and ultimately, Junwoo decided they would investigate the location of the hidden zombies themselves. Back at Zhang Yi's house, he sat in silence, reflecting on the increasingly complex situation. If the investigation team started examining the hidden zombies, they would awaken, and the real battle would begin. For that reason, Zhang Yi decided to gather everyone in the living room, where Zhao Qier, Yang Mi, and the others were visibly anxious, clearly troubled by the recent developments. Zhang Yi explained the crucial discovery he had just made. He revealed that the zombie outbreak was not caused by a natural virus, but by human engineering. This revelation shocked everyone in the room. Furthermore, Zhang Yi shared another discovery he had just realized. He explained that the corpse of the mutant he had previously encountered, one that was dead, was different from the mutant he had absorbed, which still contained energy. Zhang Yi was convinced that Kang Yi possessed the ability to absorb energy from the mutants he had empowered, even after their death. To prove his findings, Zhang Yi turned on the television and played a recording showing the thousands of zombies he had discovered in the city's underground tunnels. Everyone was stunned by the sight. Zhang Yi explained that Kang Yi was capable of enhancing or absorbing the abilities of those who used ice crystals. Yang Mi, visibly shocked, began to worry about her own fate after having used the ice crystal Zhang Yi had given her. However, Zhang Yi calmly reassured her that he would do everything in his power to ensure Kang Ye's plans failed. He also emphasized that Kang Yi could not control their deaths from a distance. Lien, who had been listening closely, remarked that Kang Yi must possess numerous abilities, and likely had many powerful followers. She began to wonder whether they would truly be able to confront such a threat. Zhang Yi believed that Junwoo's team had the power to defeat Kang Yi. Lien agreed, stating that Junwoo's abilities held immense destructive power. She added that, if not for his declining vision and health, Junwoo might have already reached the level of an Epsilon-class mutant. Zhang Yi explained that regardless of whether the threat came from zombies or the Snow Sect, if the situation reached an extreme point, Junwoo would not hesitate to wipe out the entire city. While the thought of instant death cast a pessimistic shadow, Zhang Yi reminded everyone to stay alert and prepared. For now, Zhang Yi decided to continue observing the situation. Using his rat-shaped robots, which he could control from home, he hoped to gather more information to plan their next move. Meanwhile, Junwoo's team arrived at the subway entrance. Junwoo gave Xiaoyu instructions to scout the area. Xiaoyu stared deep into the subway tunnel, trying to detect any signs, but found nothing suspicious. They moved in closer, sprinting toward the location with sharp, focused eyes. Xiaoyu reported every detail she saw along the way. However, after some time, they still found nothing unusual. Wu Di began to doubt the information Zhang Yi had given them about the place, while Junwoo admitted that the area was much cleaner than expected. Suddenly, Xiaoyu stopped, visibly frightened. Ahead of them, a large number of zombies had gathered in the distance. She couldn't determine the exact number, but estimated there were hundreds of thousands. It was a force far beyond what they could handle. Junwoo immediately ordered a retreat and called for missile support from Jiangnan headquarters. However, before they could exit, the sound of zombie shrieks echoed through the tunnel. Their presence had awakened the horde. Junwoo quickly ordered the entire team to evacuate the subway, and they ran together. In an instant, the zombies began appearing behind them. They moved swiftly and were closing in. Wu Di quickly shot down one of the zombies that had launched itself toward them. However, he realized that the zombies' movements this time were much faster than before. Deputy Captain Bailey came to the conclusion that the previous attacks they had faced were merely a distraction. And now they were witnessing the true strength of these zombies. With calm determination, Bailey turned and struck down one of the giant zombies. Then decided to stay behind, holding off the approaching horde so that the rest of the team could escape and prepare the vehicle. Woody, trusting Bailey's abilities, immediately continued running with the rest of the team. Meanwhile, the swarm of zombies kept advancing. Bailey stood firm, ready to face their relentless assault. Junwoo's team successfully made it out of the subway and quickly entered the vehicle. Just seconds after they departed, a powerful explosion rocked the subway entrance. Bailey, undeterred and seemingly tireless, finally emerged and rejoined the team inside the vehicle. They sped away, while the horde of zombies began pouring out of the subway entrance. Some even took flight, pursuing their vehicle through the air. Panicked, Woody shouted for the driver to speed up, But Xiaoyu, who was at the wheel, explained that they were already at maximum speed. Without hesitation, Woody leaned out of the window to attack the pursuing zombies. Other team members emerged from the vehicle's roof hatch, firing back as well. However, their attack seemed to have little effect. The zombies continued to close in. Just as one of the zombies was about to strike, Captain Junwoo acted swiftly to protect his team. Using his power, he unleashed a devastating attack on the pursuing zombies. Every zombie hit by the energy burst turned instantly to dust, leaving behind a massive crater where the blow had landed. Even though many were destroyed, the number of zombies chasing them remained overwhelming. Inside the vehicle, Junwoo showed visible signs of fatigue, the side effects of using his powers beginning to take their toll. He knew that if he continued using them, he might not survive for long. In his weakened state, Junwoo ordered the team to head to the nearest allied shelter. Xiaoyu reported that the Yangqing base was the closest, and they were already en route. Junwoo immediately instructed his subordinates to warn all other bases to send reinforcements to Yangqing and provide immediate support. Although the zombies were still in pursuit, Junwoo's attack had bought them some breathing room, allowing them to create distance from the relentless horde. At the Yangqing base, Honglian sat calmly in her chair, lost in thought about Zhang Yi's request for information regarding Kong Yi and Zhang Yixian. Her mind was filled with questions. But her thoughts were interrupted when a video transmission came through. Xiaoyu, from Junwoo's team, reported that they were on their way to Yangqing, with hundreds of thousands of zombies chasing closely behind.